Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk to a really good friend of mine that I met through Standout Truck. His name is JP. We're going to talk about his business that he's got going on with Hoppy mustard. Now, just to start off right off the bat, for those of you who don't know me, I don't like mustard. I am not a fan of mustard, never did at all. Just didn't like it in that sense. So when JP started telling me about his Hoppy mustard and I should try it, I was like, I'm not a fan of mustard. So I just decided to just like, you know what, if I'm going to try it, I'm going to try it my way. And I was just going to grill it with something. So I'll get into that story later on, but I want to talk to you about, this is my friend JP. So JP, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, thanks, Ron. I love condiments. I've been doing condiments for a long time, so I do Hoppy mustard, and I love hopped infused condiments.
I like that, hopped infused condiments. I like that.
So hop infused condiments came to me probably about 6 years ago. I wanted to, I wasn't happy with what I saw on the shelf. Mm-hmm. You would end up getting these beer sauces, a beer mustard, a beer, something that they would try to have. But when coming to create my own, you couldn't really achieve putting too much alcohol in these mm-hmm. products. So to me, you couldn't achieve that great flavor without putting more alcohol mm-hmm. in it, right? Mm-hmm. But then I realized that in the brewing industry, it's the hops. So the hops are what gives those IPA the flavor. So I thought, why not go to that?
Mm-hmm. So give me and the listeners a definition of what hop infused means.
My recipe that I end up taking and I'll implement the hops in the cooking process at different points mm-hmm. with different temperatures, just like the brewers do with the beers. Okay.
So that's all it means. It just means hop infused means it takes whatever recipe that somebody's cooking with, they infuse it by adding hops to whatever the ingredients are at certain temperatures.
Right.
Got it.
And people usually use hops in the IPAs because IPAs are generally very sweet. Mm-hmm. So to counteract that with some subtle bitterness, mm-hmm. And it also helps with the aromatics too. So it gets this really nice nose appeal in your face when you go to take a bite of it.
Yeah. And for me, who doesn't like mustard, I was a little bit like deterrent about it because I didn't know what it was going to be like. So in my head, I had a negative thought and negative feeling about mustard, just mustard in general. So when you started talking to me about it, I was kind of like, maybe I'll think about it, maybe I'll try it. But what about, so how did the Hoppy mustard come about? Where did this originate?
Two buddies sitting down thinking that there could be a better way of doing this. Just tried to achieve it.
Mm-hmm. Was it a lot of trial and error?
Yes, throughout the whole process. Mm-hmm. The whole process, even till today, there's always new things to mm-hmm. learn about the industry, just mm-hmm. like brewers do, to find mm-hmm. out how their recipes could just be just a tad bit different. Mm-hmm.
All right. So the reason I asked that question is because I wanted to know that you mentioned the recipe and you're still tweaking kind of thing going on like that, but you feel like you've got it right where you want it for right now.
Right now,
right.
Yes.
Now this is a secret recipe, by the way. There's like Kentucky Fried Chicken. There's no like getting this recipe out of, you're going to the grave with this thing. But all of the ingredients are clearly marked on the packages for those people who do have an allergy of some sort. Everything's listed on the outside of the package, kind of thing like that. Mm-hmm. So that part is what I liked about it, is I looked and I started reading the ingredients, and it's just a condiment. It's really all it is. It's like a ketchup. It's like a mustard. It's like a relish. It's just a condiment. It's nothing special. So what I decided to do was I said, well, I'm going to go buy some, I love kielbasa. And so I decided I was going to go buy a piece of kielbasa, and I was going to try it on that. And when I did that, I did some with kielbasa, with the Hoppy from the beginning, baking it on there and grilling it on there. And then I did some with the halfway through when all of the kielbasa started to split, and then put the Hoppy mustard on there then. And at the end, I had it on two separate plates. There was a big difference on how it tasted. I felt like grilling all the way through from start to finish had a nice, good, tangy texture and taste to it. But I feel like the one that was baked halfway through or grilled halfway through on top tasted a little bit more. Now when I say mustard, I don't mean like overwhelmingly mustard. I mean it was just enough to say, wow, that's like it tasted differently, and I kind of liked both ways, kind of thing like that. So how did it go from recipe and coming up with the concept of what you wanted to do, and then from there, what was the next step for you to actually get this packaged and consumable?
Okay, so that's all great, and by the way, it is special. Okay, what it is there's, we ended up going the original process of thinking about this, what condiment sauces were the main sauces that people were thinking of that would hit their refrigerator. What do you have in your fridge if you were to open up? Top 5 out of the average of everybody. And mustard ended up being that for everybody. I mean, starting from when you're a kid to you throughout your bachelor days, you open it up, that's probably the only thing you have in your fridge, right?
True.
So it's the thought process that got us there of just implementing the hops into these sauces to give them those flavors. And then once we achieved it, after months of going through it and critiquing it and getting feedback and identifying it by small batches. So we'd each give a different number to each one. And then after that, you just go and you find out what the best one through your feedback was, and we would keep it that way. And then we'd try it with some other sauces and see where we go.
Got it. So as of right now, what's the biggest pouch that you can buy for Hoppy mustard?
It's a 6-ounce pouch.
6-ounce pouch, okay. Yeah. All right, so the 6-ounce pouch, you can get quite a few hot dogs out of that. You can, you could, I've seen give me some ideas on what is the best way, in your opinion, as a cook, as a critique of getting the Hoppy mustard to the level of where do you feel like is the best way to use this Hoppy mustard?
Well, for me, I love just putting it right on top of my beef on wax sandwiches, or utilizing it inside like most of my mayonnaise bound salads. I love the summertime. I love picnics, so I love to find out how I can implement it in a picnic, because being in that pouch, it's easy to really take right to the campsites.
Right. So, I like that.
So it's not in glass. So the family takes it there, and we utilize it, and the stuff that we bring beforehand, and the stuff that we utilize on the grill there. So
and I noticed the packages changed a little bit over the course of time. Some of the pouches in the beginning, when I first had them, they were a little bit differently shaped. Now they're differently shaped. So you might see some pictures were older pictures that were there, but they're going to see on the screen exactly what your new package looks like. Also, so if they were interested in doing something like this, where could they go to get a sample? If they have to buy it, that's one thing, but is there any place that they can go where they can actually try it before they buy it?
Great, yeah. Outside the Box gift shop.
Outside the Box
in Ludlow, Massachusetts. They have it retail right on the shelf for you, and then they also have. And
you can sample it right there.
Right there.
Oh, that's nice. So you can buy it right there if you like it, but you can also sample it on whatever they have as far as tasters there, kind of thing like that. And if you decide you like it, you can buy a pouch right there.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah. Now, where else if I wanted to go get a hot dog?
Well, we work with a vendor right out of Springfield, Massachusetts, Firehouse Hot Dogs.
Excellent.
And they usually go and they'll provide it with, comes automatic with like a corn dog that they have on there.
Oh, I would have never thought of a corn dog.
Oh, it's delicious.
See, when I went back to my second recipe, I did the same thing with wings. So I put it in my air fryer, and I did one batch with the Hoppy mustard on top, baked right from the beginning in an air fryer. So I did it right from the beginning, took those out. I did another batch halfway through, flipped them over halfway through, then I put the Hoppy mustard on afterwards. And there definitely is a stronger, good, better feeling, tasting to the second part of it, because I feel like it doesn't all evaporate away. The first parts were baked in and it's tangy on the outside, but the second way, halfway through, I feel like you get more flavor out of that.
Exactly. So when you utilize it as an ingredient, opposed to a dipping sauce, you're going to end up having a more subtle appeal with it. So that's why you enjoy it, is because you utilize it as an ingredient and not a dipping sauce.
Yes,
so when it's not so right straight to your tongue. It's mixed with other things that it blends with.
Yeah, and I said to JP, I says, if there's any way I'm going to try a mustard, it's going to be his. And it took me a couple of months to kind of get to that point, because in my head I couldn't wrap my head around it, because I had such a negative whatever feeling and thought about it. I was like, you know what? If I'm going to use it, I'm going to cook it and grill with it. That's what I love to do. But you can literally open this pouch, take some pretzels out, and use it as a dipping sauce on a cracker, on a piece of. That's the best part about it, is because even though I don't like it that way, I love it the other way. And then somebody else might love to bake with it and cook with it and grill with it. And then somebody else might, just the same Hoppy mustard could be used on a cracker and a pretzel. That's I love that part of it. There's so much versatility to it. And that's what I like about it.
You can, and the best part about it, I find it, if you do the best of both worlds. So when you go and you marinate it, and then you, like you said, start with it, and then you end up going and you baste with it later, you ended up having all the way through with that subtle taste on the inside. Because see, as chefs, you like to layer your flavors.
Yes. And that's the part that I feel like it's really, we talked about that 1-2 punch kind of thing like that, you and I a little while ago. I feel like this is that 1-2 punch. If you like it straight out of the pouch on your pretzels, great. If you want to grill with it, great.
Well, see, it has a lot of benefits to it. Mustard, when you end up utilizing it as a rub, like you
would. A rub, I didn't think of that.
If you go and you rub it on your roast or your chicken before you end up, and you let it marinate, what ends up happening is the mustard backs off like you like it, and it fades away. But the flavor, the seasoning, all the stuff that I put inside that recipe is left behind.
The secret recipe.
Thanks. and it ends up making it so flavorful, because it's just not yellow mustard that fades away. It has something of substance that's left behind. So then that flavor hits it. So then you end up going and cooking it right out.
I love why you said this, that regular, and I'm not a foodie, and I'm not like, against all mustard, yellow mustard kind of thing like that. But if somebody's looking for something different for a mustard that's not a yellow or a golden or anything else like that, and they're just looking for to try something different, they can go to Outside the Box in Ludlow, Massachusetts, and they can try a little tasting right there. If they like it, the pouches are there for sale. And they can go to Firehouse Hot Dogs and buy a hot dog or a corn dog, and literally it's cooked right there. You try it. Can they purchase the pouches from the Firehouse Hot Dogs? Can they purchase the pouches?
No.
Okay.
But if they were to go to our Facebook page, Hoppy Mustard,
So how can we find you online?
Great. So you would end up finding us at Hoppy Mustard on Facebook and on Instagram, and you can end up texting Hoppy to 413-216-4293.
Perfect.
And you're going to end up getting a live person that's going to end up taking care of you right then to take your order.
And then if you like it at Firehouse and you were like, oh my God, this is so good, there's going to be a QR code we'll put down below and a link to the Hoppy Mustard for his social media. But from there, now you can literally go in there and try and figure out, oh my God, do I want to try this ahead of time? Do I want to buy it? Working on the website. So there's only upward things when it comes to this, and this is just going to skyrocket. It's summertime, it's springtime, it's grilling time. This is the time that people want to kind of get outside and go to those picnics and do stuff like that.
Exactly. So to piggyback off that, what we've done is we ended up creating a starter kit. So when you end up having our starter kit, you'll get 4 pouches of Hoppy mustard. Yep. 4 pouches of Hoppy mustard, and you'll end up getting a pouch on us to gift to one of your friends.
So I'm going to get 5 pouches.
Total, yes.
For the price of 4.
Exactly.
And what do you do with the 5th one?
You give it to a friend.
Is that the deal, or can I keep it if I want to eat it?
You could. But you could also be the champ that gives it and makes one of your friends
turns them on to Hoppy Mustard.
Well, make them look like a champ on the block, just like you feel when you're cooking at it. When you're cooking.
All right, so the deal you got right now is you buy 4 pouches and you get the 5th one for free to gift to somebody else or keep it for yourself, kind of thing like that.
Exactly.
All right, and you can get that at Outside the Box in Ludlow, Firehouse Hot Dogs also, and all the social medias are going to be right there. Give me the text number again.
413-216 4293.
Perfect. Is there anything else that you want to add to as far as grilling tips? Any other way that you would utilize it?
I like it because of the vinegar in it ends up breaking down and tenderizing all the meats that you end up putting it on. If there was something that I wanted to have for a dry snack, I always love coating any type of chip, pretzel, Chex Mix, even some of the dry plain cereals.
See, I would have never even thought of that.
I coat those with the Hoppy mustard.
Okay.
And then I end up tossing them, putting them on a sheet tray, parchment paper, laying it out single layer. I put it into the oven, 275, mix it around every 5 to 10 minutes until all of it's dried out.
Perfect.
And you have like the perfect snack.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. So if anybody was on the fence with, for me, trying something new that was a mustard base, I know it's called Hoppy mustard, but it literally does not taste like a mustard to me. It tastes like a really tangy condiment on top of whatever you're eating. And I feel like if I can get the mustard part out of my head, for me, it makes me feel better. But at the same time, for those people who do like mustard, this is that win-win, 1-2 punch for everybody. And that's the part that I like about it.
I would go back to how we started this.
Okay.
You not liking Hoppy mustard, not liking mustard at all.
Yeah.
I believe that people don't like certain foods because they weren't given the opportunity the first time.
True.
To actually enjoy it.
True.
And made properly by somebody.
True.
So somebody could have really hacked it up the first time when they served it to you.
Yep.
And now forever, you've not wanted to go back to that and actually give it an honest try.
Yeah.
So now that, like myself making Hoppy mustard, I believe that I made it correctly for you.
Yeah.
So then therefore now you are going to enjoy it because I prepared it correctly for you. So I think this is a better option than what it was before that wasn't done correctly for you. Now your palate is screaming, hell yeah.
Right. And perceptions change. Perspectives change.
Yep.
Me, I was so dead set against it that I was like, you know what, JP's my friend. This is absolutely the only mustard I've ever tried in my entire life. And it is now in my refrigerator for every time that I'm grilling. Okay, and I'm not just saying that because he's here. It's just there's something about it that it's just different. It's not spicy. It's really, really, really good for me the way that it is.
It's not. I don't believe that it's spicy, but everybody's got a different palate.
Correct.
So some people might not like the spices that I use in it because they have a more plain palate. But if you're looking for spicy, bold, tangy, sweet, with some subtle bitterness from those hops, you're gonna really enjoy this, especially when you go to break out the beer.
Yeah, and that's the part that I like now. So it's literally May, it's spring, it's that grilling season kind of thing like that. So I want to thank JP for coming to the channel and talking to me about his business and about Hoppy mustard and how I had to change my mentality. And I just like, you know what? I'm just gonna at least try it. Now I've got 3 pouches in my refrigerator at all times. So thank you guys for coming back to the channel. All of what we talked about and the links to where you can buy the Hoppy mustard is going to be in the links description down below. All of the social media is going to be in the links down below. All of the places you can try the Hoppy mustard is going to be in the links down below. So thank you guys for coming back to the channel. I appreciate your time. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and remember to smile more because it hurts less. Peace.